And voila, just like that, we're coming to you live from Freedom Hotel here in Ho. On behalf of Joy News, once again, I welcome all of you. Miawezo, akpe katanemi, that you've made time to join us here in the auditorium to talk about a very important thing that is nearly becoming like cancer in our democracy. Very important, so we find some solution to it. Just before we go on, I'm just going to be introducing our panelists. This conversation is not about the panelists, it's about you, because you're always at the voting center. You're always the one taking the decision when it's time for our democracy to speak. And so this afternoon, we have our panelists, but the conversation rests on your shoulder. Government, so that we'll find some solution to this cancer that we all have been talking about. This afternoon, we're joined by Mama Atrato, the second Queen Mother of Hodome. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to be kind with the applause? We're also joined by ACP Brown Mercy Wilson. She is Head of Legal and Prosecution, Volta Region, Head of Police Ladies Chapter, Volta Region. Ladies and gentlemen, quite a pleasant woman. Thank you for making time for us. On Zoom as well, we shall be joined by Imrana Mohammed. He is Programs Director, National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE, and he will be joining us via Zoom. And as well, we're joined by George Ashilevi. He is educationist and an anti-corruption advocate. Ladies and gentlemen, we're also joined by Rosebon Ewenam Atutonu. She is Executive Director, Global Action for Women Empowerment. Harrison Kofi Belly as well is Senior Lecturer, Ho Technical University and Chairman of Ghana Journalists Association, Volta Region Chapter. Ladies and gentlemen. So we have a packed panel. We're going to be having a very detailed discussion. But Emefa Ho, Volta Regional, well, let's put some data. Let's put some figures to it. Allo, you take the decision without any influence. So our team went out there, did some great research, and said that, well, the numbers are quite staggering. It's not us. It is the people of Volta Region, because Ho is the capital. They are the ones speaking. So our team, research team, will be here to do a presentation. And let me invite Anthony Menu to come and break down the data for us. How is it looking? Good ballot. Let's Anthony, I know I'm selling you, but you come back home safely. What's the numbers looking like?
Emefa, I'm very much grateful. So we've been here since Monday, and then we've been engaging the people here in Ho to understand, their perception of vote buying here. But before I dive into the numbers here in the Volta region, I would want to explain a few national, numbers that we are using as a gauge as far as this campaign is concerned. So we are looking to sample over 1,600 people here in Ghana to tell us what they know about, vote buying, so that it will help us, be a background to the numbers that we will be using. And we are confident that if we are able to speak to this 1,600 people, we are 95% confident that the data is going to represent the entirety of Ghana. And we are going to have +2 of 2.45% margin of error. Now let me touch on the Volta region. We are looking at a sample of 82. That's the ideal sample that we want us to use here in Ho, because we are using a sampling method that allows us to use Ho as a mirror to the to Volta region in its entirety. And we use the population and housing census of 2021 that was done by the Ghana Statistical Service to check the weight of Volta region here in Ghana, and then choose this ideal sample size of 82. But we're able to speak to 200 people here in Ho. Those are the number of people that we're able to engage. And in terms of response, we took response from 103 people. What are the numbers saying in terms of whether they have witnessed vote buying before or they have not? Now, this is the demographic of the respondent. We have male representing 64% of the 103 people that we actually spoke to. We have 36% of them being females. Now, in terms of, we asked them whether they've actually witnessed a candidate offering money before. If they've not even witnessed, whether they've actually heard. And per the numbers that we got, 59.2% said they have heard, they've not seen. And 38% of them saying that they have actually seen that a politician is giving out money or any other item to influence their vote. We actually had just about 2% of them saying that they have neither witnessed nor heard this vote buying exercise going on. Now, if you look at the class of people that we spoke to, in terms of the informal sector, in terms of the professional level, religious and student, it cuts, across. The blue represent those who have heard, and the red actually represent those who actually witnessed or partook in the vote buying itself. You see that in the informal sector, we saw majority of them saying that they actually went in there to take the money here in the voter region. I mean, if you check the other ones that we've done in Tamale, and then in the Western region as well, you see, some level of, data likely being there. Now, we asked them, how is it likely that money can influence who actually wins an election in voter region? Now, these are the responses that we got, and we have actually grouped them into age groups. Now, what they are saying is that, so we asked them on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate whether a candidate with money or a candidate who has less money will win? And they are saying that money determines who actually wins election in the voter region. That is what the number is saying. And then if you look at from 26 to 51 class, they are all saying that, we asked them a follow-up question. So would you take the money if the money is actually given to you? They said yes, they will take the money and they will vote for the person that gives out the money. There was a slight difference. If you look at those in the 18 and then 25, they actually said they will take the money, but that is not going to influence the person they are actually going to vote for. So I think that was the unique thing that we actually even saw here as compared to the other regions that we actually looked at. This we didn't see in the other regions, but we saw that all of the age groups are saying we will take and we will vote for the person who has more money. Now, we asked them, are you likely to vote for a candidate who has less money? You personally, the person we asked the question, are you likely to vote for the candidate who has less money but has ideas to improve voter region? They said yes. And we have 82.6% of them saying they are willing to vote for a candidate who has less money but has ideas that can help them improve voter region in its entirety. So we asked them this question. We're actually expecting them not to know the answer to this question, but based on what they gave, we asked them, who do you think gives money to these, politicians to come and say to you? And they said it is government money. They said it is money from the government, and because it is money from the government, we are also entitled to that money. So they will take it. And then we had 56% of the people that we spoke to saying that it is government money. Others said these politicians have wealthy businessmen who want to gain favor when they come into power. So we would want to give them their money. Some were also saying organized crime proceeds. Those that want to wash money will give these monies to the politicians to, share, so that when they come into power, they will give them good money, per se. Now, some were saying that they are using their personal savings, and then 12% of the respondents said they had no idea where these monies actually come from. We asked them whether our laws here in Ghana are working, and the majority of them are saying that the laws all do exist. If you see the red bars, the laws exist, but they are not being enforced. That is the answer majority of them are actually giving. And the blue is representing those who are saying that the laws are actually weak. These red people are saying that the laws are there, but they are not being enforced well. We asked them, what should we do to those who engage in vote buying, those giving and those receiving, even those that said we would take the money, said they should give them a strict jail time, like those who are engaging in vote buying. And then we had 60% of them. 60% of the people that we spoke to saying that they should give them, a jail time. Now, this is what personally I was interested in. They said there's no hope for Ghana. Said there's nothing we can do to solve this. It is something that has come to stay. We spoke to one person that said something that touched me personally. He was like, before Ghana started practicing, normal Ghanaians going to vote, this system was not going on. And he would prefer that Ghana could go back than to be practicing democracy. That is actually causing this. And then we had, other few things that the people actually listed. So, Emefa, these are the numbers that we were able to get from our, discussions with the people here in the Volta region. I
know that Volta region has my heart, Anthony, and I also know that things may be quite different if you did the research here. But these are quite interesting findings, right?
Exactly.
I was wondering whether they knew what it was like before we started practicing democracy.
Exactly.
I hope they knew what they were asking for. But Anthony, thank you so much. I saw most of you smiling, some of you nodding. So before I go to the presentation by our policewoman today, or ACP today, I want to engage you. The presentation my colleague just did, which part of it has your attention? Microphone already. I may be apongo atakwashiji, and then me you know wapong. Right. When you do, please tell me your name. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Aya Felicia, an NSS personnel in Ho here. Okay, so about the votes buying. Personally, I am a witness. I am a victim.
You have my attention. You are a witness.
I am a witness and I am a victim.
I'm the only one listening. Let's go.
Okay. So why am I a victim and a witness? I have been a polling station executive before. That comes to me being a witness. And in the just ended NPP constituency elections, I personally contested for women organizer for my constituency. But why did I lose? It's all because of money. It doesn't boil down to who can do the work. The people buy your message very well, but on the D-Day, the money is presented to them, speak to them at the balloting. So for the vote buying, it has been there. It will be there. And
I think I understand what she said. She's a victim.
Yes, it was there. So because per the listenings from the previous executives, they will tell you, yes, this is it. If you give me more money, I'll vote for you. Even the D-Day of the elections, people will meet you. Madam Felicia, you can win, but if you don't give us money, you will not win this election.
That's interesting.
Yes. That is what is resulting to our underdevelopment. People can do the work. People can speak to people. But those who can give us more money, those are the people who will vote for. To talk about where people get the money from, personally, I was a student of Ho Technical University. My dad could help me, by the way, but when I was going into this politics, he was like, these people will not vote for you because you don't have enough. I used my personal savings, though. I didn't get money from anywhere. I used my personal savings.
NSS?
Yes, I'm an NSS
700
personnel.
And how much?
15 cedis. So before school, I was saving my own, and I also do fruit juice business.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm a businesswoman as well.
Tafifi Lafia as a bagba.
Merekwe.
Tafifi Lafia was saving here you fruit juice business and Ashana say.
Oh, ever. Vote buying, we should look at it very well. I think if we enforce these laws, despite we can't kill it totally, but the few people who understand what we are trying to propagate will buy it for us as well. Thank you very much.
So much. This submission has been very sharp. I will take one or two quickly before, because she mentioned enforcement, and it's the reason why ACP Brown Mercy Wilson is here. She do the presentation, and then you know whether are you committing a crime, are you aiding a particular type of crime or not. Do you know that you can go to jail for it? We'll hear that, but let me take one or two more comments quickly before. Please tell me your name.
All right, so my name is Walter. I just want to seek some clarification on the presentation that was done by the gentleman. He presented a slide, and one of the slides, on the hidden financiers of political parties or political campaigns, he mentioned governments, he mentioned business people, then he also mentioned criminal proceeds. Mm-hmm. Of course, we know that these issues are real. We have encountered it in my line of work, and I know about it.
Where do you work?
I'm a journalist.
Okay.
I'm a broadcast journalist.
Right.
And, so I have encountered it. Politicians, they themselves have actually confirmed to me that, of course, they have done it several times. Because if they fail, for instance, if I fail to do it, my contender would do it, and he would actually have an upper hand over, over me. So the issues are real, we know. But the criminal proceeds, I just want to know exactly how you were able to establish that indeed these are criminal sources, and there are proceeds from these sources that go into political campaigns.
That's a really good question, Wilson. I'm just noting it, and later when we're taking answers, we'll try and address that. I'll take the final question for you before we go for the... Please tell me your name.
Hello.
Yes,
my name is Godwin Mauto Wanka. I side with my sister. I also contested as a parliamentary aspirant for a particular political party. And when I went to the field, I was one of the guys who were saying that we are no longer going to give money to anyone. And then we are having ideas. I brought ideas. They were praising me. But my research team, as I was on the field, they called them that my promises, everything is good, they like it, but they want to tell me that I don't have money. So they don't think I can win. And as they mentioned that, I thought it was a joke. I believed myself that I did with them, maybe, but the fact I lost. And I lost.
Was it a normal loss or poto?
Poto. And apart from that funding aspect, it was the delegates themselves, let me put it, the electorate, that are requesting for the money. There are people who are genuinely having ideas to develop their communities or with solutions, but the electorate will never vote for you if you come empty-handed. Okay. So I think enforcement could solve the problem, or we should all brainstorm on how we will resolve this problem. Thank you
very much. We'll continue at some point. I promise I'll come to you. I just want to take the presentation. I apologize. And then I'll come to you for a reaction. Today, the conversation is for you, okay? And so I'll come to you. Well, we've been asking the question, how did we get here? Where did we start? And what could be the solution? If there was any form of enforcement, would it curb the challenge? No, what in la mother count? No lam, no who come out of you got involved in some sort of vote buying, or you're financing it in any way, whether it is clean money or some criminal proceeds, then we know what the law looks like. Please help me welcome ACP Brown Mercy Wilson. She is Head of Legal and Prosecution, Volta Region, Head of Police Ladies Chapter, Volta Region. Please.
Very well. I am here to do democracy not for sale. So I am not here myself. I'm representing the regional commander. DCOP, Mr. Wisdom Akoli, he's not able to come. So he asked me to do this. Now, okay. What we are saying is democracy is not just about voting. Democracy is about balancing your rights with responsibilities, which are duties to you and I, and enforcing laws. We've heard about laws and enforcement just beginning. And we are saying that democracy will only exist in freedoms, on rights, responsibilities, and the rule of law, which at law, all of us here are forbidden to trade off. We cannot sell, neither for money, as we have just heard, for fear, for abuse, for silence, for violence or threat. You and I know that all of these things happen. Now, the Constitution, Article 12, provides for the rights. Article 21 provides for your freedoms. Article 26 provides for your practices and your manifestations of the rights and the freedoms. Now, we are saying that there are duties attached to all of these. There are duties. So when we often hear people say, oh, I have the right to assembly under Article 21. I can meet people. Remember that you cannot do your processions and your demonstrations without meetings. And so that article alone provides all of that. And that is a link to your public order duty. That within the space of association, meeting, and procession, you are acting within the public space. And Article 12 enjoins you to be mindful of what you do in public. 21 informs us that whatever you are doing, while you are in assembly, while you are in procession, while you are in demonstration, you are putting out information. That information you are putting must be subject to qualifications which are necessary for a democratic society. And therefore, that takes you back to your duties or responsibilities attached to the constitutional provision under Article 12. Now, the 26th one reads, every person, obia, every person. I don't know how you say obia in Ewe. Good. Every person, not some people, is entitled or are entitled to enjoy practices. You are entitled to enjoy, you are entitled to practice, you are entitled to profess, maintain, promote any culture, any language, any tradition or religion. However, you are subject to the provisions of this constitution. So you don't do that in open air. You don't do that out of nothing. Now, the 12 that I have mentioned before says every person in Ghana, in fact, I wish there is an amendment on the in Ghana to include those people who are not in Ghana. Every person in Ghana, whatever your race, place of origin, political opinion, color, religion, creed, gender, shall be entitled to your fundamental rights and freedoms of that individual contained in this chapter, but you are subject to respect the rights and freedoms of others. That is the public interest in. And so when you are buying votes, when you are issuing threats, when you are issuing insults, you need to be mindful of what public interest is. Now, why are we here? From the very beginning of this discussion, everything is enforcement. So for us, law enforcement officials, under the Article 200 of the very constitution that bears this democracy, and the Police Service Act 70, we are enjoined to maintain law and order and protect public interest, protect the rights of every person. And so we don't wait for you to call us. When the matter comes, we come up because we are enjoined to do that. And whenever we confront, we don't wait. We shall confront. Sometimes we are beaten by macho men, but we shall confront. Now, pitching this topic against what we do. Now, we've heard about vote buying. I'm happy it came up. There is a law on vote buying, that is very specific. Section 33 of the PNDC Law 285. And I read, any person who gives money or gift to induce a voter to vote, or a voter not to vote commit an offense, and you are seeing 2 years imprisonment plus 5 years ban when you are lucky to come out of the prison alive. I think that the 2 years is so small. Yes. Therefore, when a politician shares money, Like I saw somewhere in Accra where fire officers were going to vote and there were people with food. I remember that scene very well, and I'm happy I didn't see policemen there because I would have picked them myself. Now, when we see that thing happen, that politician is not being a nice person. That environment is a crime scene, and police will engage unless we are beaten. Oh, that's not working. Push for me, it's not going.
We'll try and fix it, but if he's just
Okay,
joined
it's
us,
gone.
thank you. Great.
Okay. Now, the section number 17 of the Criminal Offences Act defines the meaning and the use of threat and cautions that in fact it's a forbiddance that nobody shall issue threat of any kind. The language of the law is, it doesn't matter that the person you are threatening has actually done the thing for which you are telling him, you wait, I will tell the police. If you want to tell the police, go and tell the police. Don't tell the person that I'm going to tell. That is what the law is saying. And it doesn't matter wherever, which medium you do it. And so, by that we are telling you that Facebook is a public place, like TikTok is also a public place. Don't do it there. Now, the punishment for threatening somebody is whooping 10 to 25 years. I'm sure people don't know that. Because I don't know why I will mount TikTok and threaten somebody that I will kill you, when I know I'll go to jail for 25 years. By that time, whatever you say to a policeman will not matter again, because I am not a parliamentarian. The people who pay you to vote for them are the people who went to parliament to go and make these laws. I didn't make them. And this law has been in existence since 1960. I was not born. Now, if these are coded and we know, then the question is, why do we struggle to stop such prohibited acts under the cover of I have rights and I have freedom? When we all forget that the same Article 21 that spells out the rights and the freedom have the F that cautions you that you must be mindful of your democratic responsibilities. So where is the loophole? This public election thing. The section 40, the article 49 of the Presidential, Parliamentary and District Assembly referendum does not define party primaries as a public election. And so this vote buying thing happens a lot. The worst kind of vote buying happens at primaries. Okay? And they call it internal party affairs. Last night, while I was reading, I saw the AG saying that now they are not going to do the delegates, whatever again. I'm very happy about that because it has a way of reducing this. Now, since 2001, when we repealed the libel law, people erroneously believe that now you can pick the microphone and insult anybody. Let somebody try it with me. I won't forget. I won't forgive. The reason is that there are other laws which are still acting. There are other existing laws. And one of them is the section 207 of the Criminal Offences Act. That is the insulting law. It is not true that there is no insult. It is not true that there is no insulting law in Ghana. Section 207 of the Criminal Offences Act still acts against insulting. The language of the law is that any person who in any public meeting uses threatening, abusing, or insulting words or behavior with intent to provoke a breach of the peace, or whereby the breach of the peace is likely to be breached, then we have insulting behavior, and we shall pick you. We will not let you do that. Now, understand that I've said TikTok is a public place. 208 talks about the false news law. It says that a person or any person who publishes or reproduces, somebody talk before me to I talk. The law is saying when you reproduce any statement or rumors, report, which is likely to cause fear or alarm to the public or disturb the public peace, knowing or having reason to believe it is false, you are guilty. Then we have 76 of the Electronic Communication Act. So You see, there are an array of laws. It's not only one. The false communication law, it says that if you do any false communication when you know it is misleading, then you will be paying 36,000 Ghana cedis and go to prison for 5 years or both. Now, the challenge of insult. Today in social media, the moment we have issues, we don't come with the issues so that those who are listening can listen to you and also bring their ideas. It's insult. And worst case of it, when they see you are a woman, by the time I leave here, this is the time somebody will see how short I am, and they will start insulting me. We call that, it's a new emerging word, femocracy. That you insult women, we beg you, don't do it. Now, democracy is not for sale team. It's now afraid of the monetization, and that is why they did this, this study. Okay. Now, the dilemma, I'm just about finished, and I think I have just about one slide. The Media Foundation for West Africa is warning us that they know that insult is bad. But police, we are begging you, stop arresting the Camila, or what is her name. And last night I saw Keku Christo. Stop arresting them. Don't arrest them. But they are not telling them don't insult too. Okay? And their reason is that when we keep arresting them, then people are afraid to come out with their dissenting opinion. But I'm asking you, what was so dissenting about Camila, whatever thing? What was dissenting there? What did you hear for you to even bring your own so that you can judge and see where we must toe? Okay? So, if the criminal offences law are archaic, as the Media Foundation is saying, how about the cyber laws? How about the electronic transaction laws? I told you it's not only criminal offences law that we are arresting people by. We are arresting with an array of laws. And so I am asking again, what was Camila's contribution? I am ending here, but I'm ending telling you that democracy is not for sale. But if you and I, we sit here, we acquiesce, we remove our eyes, we turn blind eyes, we behave, we have not heard. That democracy that we are saying is not for sale. They will auction it right under our eyes, and there is something we can do. It is important for us to use existing laws to protect the rights of every individual and also the rights of the public spaces so that we don't get to where it's not supposed to be. We use the laws given to us by this very democracy, the constitution that birthed this very democracy. My name's Brown Mercy Wilson, and I thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, a resounding round of applause for ACP Brown Mercy Wilson. She is head of legal and prosecution. Just done is to let you understand that democracy is not only when you're marching to the ballot box to go and vote. If you're not an ever, you'd say that democracy is kebi mami kebi. Inti sa wo sa kukudro na wo kebi na ento ACP mra we awaka che onimu a e betimi a che okian. So what I say? So it's not only when you're voting, she has just opened it up for you. If you just joined us, you're watching our forum or our dialogue, Democracy is Not for Sale, live on Joy News as well, live on Joy FM 99.7 FM. We're also streaming live on our platform. Tell somebody that we're having a very important conversation and they should join us. We'll get to the NCC at some point to understand why, because one of the things that ACP mentioned is that, did you know that there were laws that existed that would prohibit the things that you're doing? And she went on to even answer that maybe you don't know, but there are laws. But there's an entity that is also responsible for educating you. We'll go to them at some point. But I've had my panelists on stage for a while, so I'll take some initial comments from you and as well go back to the audience and ask them what they want to say about the presentation and further questions. I'll start with Mama Atrato, the second Queen Mother of Hodobe.
Thank you. It's nice to be here. I was also a victim. When I went to bother myself to stand for Council of State, what is happening there is so pathetic and so sad. Because when Volta region is underdeveloped, you blame the delegates. Delegates were taking 5,000 Ghana cedis to vote for Council of State. And the disgraceful or the shameful thing is they were also packed in a car and sent to Sogankope Hotel. They spent the weekend there. They said, eat what you want to eat. 40 delegates were given 5,000 cedis. When I was giving them only 200 for their tea and tea, you can imagine it. That is not the end. Council of State has continued. They are taking money up to today. The question is, do they know what the region wants? The Volta region, the Council of State is to lobby for things for the region. I was influenced when I brought the dialysis to the Volta region. People thought I had all the contacts after building a school. So I had so many calls. Mama, go for us. All the journalists here were pushing me. I thought it was a joke. But that was my end. I was voted for Poto, like the police officer said. Now, voting is, the vote buying is not only with politicians. When you go to the churches, Methodist, Presbyterian, Anglican, their leaders, the leadership of all these churches, they buy votes before they are elected. This is what is happening. So the Christianity is now for sale. That is not the end. When we come to our chiefs, the most pathetic thing, when you want to be the president of the House of Chiefs, people buy votes. And then the question is, why didn't Togbi Afede went for the second term? There was vote buying. Government was giving out cars and money. That was why Togbi Afede didn't go for the second term. It's so disgraceful. So I am very much happy the delegate system has been abolished by the Supreme Court. And I salute all the panelists who were on that panel. Before you even become a delegate, you have to pay. That is one thing. Before you become a delegate, you have to pay. So vote buying has come to stay. Now that the delegate system is abolished, let us pray and see if we can get the right people to represent the region, because most people that we put at certain places don't know that the region is damn in need of so many things. Go to the regional hospital and see what is there. Go to the municipal hospital. What are politicians doing for us? I just realized that Edem Agbana has given out all his salary for the regional hospital for equipments that they don't have. Because our politicians are there for themselves and they are never satisfied. The word is, they are never satisfied. So we are here. We are going to tell them our peace of mind. And we pray that when the vote buying system is abolished, we will get the rightful people to be put at certain places and to lobby. The word is to lobby for the region to be developed. I was so much ashamed when I went to Bolga. I was so much ashamed. And then I asked myself, oh, what is here? I don't know. It is because we don't travel. There is nothing here. There is nothing here. And even doctors who come here, how many of you can even give a doctor one sachet of water to drink after operation? But when you go to other regions, you see people giving Christmas parcels to doctors to encourage them to live with them. Our politicians don't even know how to give to their chiefs to to encourage them, to organize people, to think of development for the region. Emefa, I am happy you are here, and I thank everybody. Let us feel free and see if we can celebrate those who are going. We encourage them to think of the region first before they think of their pockets. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mama. And when Mama calls me Emefa, she's calling my soul, because this woman will not let me sleep. She will let me learn to know the traditions of Volta region, and I hope that I'm making you proud, Mama. Well, let me go to Doug. You are a researcher, right? And I want you to take us back to, yes, please. I want you to take us back to why you think this system started and how it's eating deep into our democratic fabric. How do you think it started? Especially because our research is pointing us back to, or maybe we should go back to the system that existed before democracy. I am a child. I don't know the system that existed, but I've read and I know that that system is very difficult. But if people are so appalled by the system today because of vote buying, then I don't know, something at some point must have changed. What do you think has brought us to this level?
Thank you very much. I, as an academic, have been teaching this topic for a very long time. I teach the theories, so I decided to go to the field to see for myself. So I followed many of the primaries that have been held, elections, to witness for myself. It is not something new. It has been there. But now that it is evolving, it is increasing in, should I say, velocity or volume? Because you can't measure it. As Mama indicated, every section that you point to, you see element of vote buying there. But our concentration is always on the political parties. If it's smaller groups, student groups, people are paying money for it.
Yeah, there's some loud ESB in the corner here. Please hold on to that. I'll come back to you. Please hold on to that, yes. I want some details.
So, our focus should not always be on the political parties and its delegates, but among us also, in smaller ways. As Mama said, in the church, in academia, in journalism and communication, everywhere you have a stint of vote buying. And I say it's not new because it's as a result of the new environment that we found ourselves. The visibility, the new media is exposing a lot. That is why we are now connecting with it so much. In the past, it was there. People were sold their vote for Bentua, sold it for cassava, petty things. But as the democracy begins to grow, the volume or the velocity also increases. And that is what we are seeing now. But it is a very dangerous thing to us, in the sense that it compromises on the quality of democracy that we are practicing. It distorts our electoral competition, in the sense that if you don't have the money, you can't go into it. You can have the beautiful ideas. You can be the expert in every direction. But if you don't have the money, as my sister indicated, you go there and you come back, and then, to borrow the words of ACP, Nancy Poto.
Thank you very much. I would go to Ewenam. You know, because of the cost and how sophisticated it's become, women, I'm told the data shows that women are not even attempting to want to go into it in any form. Anything that looks like politics or anything that looks like somebody must okay you, they will not go into it. Is this data accurate? Yeah. Okay, tell me how serious it is.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, so it's very accurate. Women are the support of their families. They are always thinking about what my children will eat, what the entire household will eat. So you can just imagine they don't have enough time to engage in productive activities to earn money and then go into leadership space, into the politics and trying to be a leader of their communities to a national leadership. So for women, yes, they may have the money. Some may have the money, but they are also looking at the other ties that they have that they need to cater for before venturing into such positions. When we tried as a civil society organization, we tried to support women to take up the leadership roles at the assembly level, unit committee level. This thing came up. It's like you need to, grease our palms for us to even select you as assembly member or even vote you in as a unit committee member. Some of our women that we were able to push, we were able to bring their communities to support them to go into the rally. Some had to drop because of the competition. It's so tough. You don't have enough to feed on, and you are expected to give to somebody else in order to get that position you are looking for. Probably that person has the ideas, but then because of money, the person cannot go forward.
I see. I would have a personal question for ACP a bit later. Well, it represents a lot of people's view, ACP, and it will mean that a delegate or somebody who has the right to vote will say that, well, it's because we don't see the development. I feel like you have to give me a part of the national cake, but if you get ahead or if you get to the front, I won't get it. So I want to take it's like a collateral, it's like an insurance. They take it and keep it before, so that if you go and if I don't get to see the development, at least my development is in my stomach. I've taken it already. I will come, whether it is a strong point, if you could confirm this, and if it's contributed to how difficult in trying to want to solve this problem. Please hold on to that. But let me come to you, my favorite people today. I see 1, 2, 3, 4. I've not even asked the question yet, but you, you were going to take the question first before. You can go to the stand. And then whilst we're at it, I want that one bold person who can tell me that, yes, I took money, I voted this person, and these were my reasons. I want that one person who would be bold, good to tell me that. Who can do that? You can. Aren't you a sweetheart? Please give a round of applause so that the energy will not go down. But let me hear you, gentlemen. Nice. I want to hear why she took the money and why she voted for that person. But please tell me your name and your comments.
Thank you. My name is Karuben Kofiziga. I'm the assembly member for Hodome-Wusu electoral area. And fortunately for me, my queen mother is a panelist and also my lecturer at a political science student at the university.
Your area is very well represented.
Yes. So my question goes to Mr. Bele. But before the question, I want to make a comment on the last presentation done about the research. I will say that the presenter made a comment that with all the research across Ghana, the difference that they notice is that our youth between the ages of 18 and 25 are seeing the light, that they will take the money, but they will vote for merit-based and competence-based. So to me, I would like us as an impact makers to focus on that generation so that they don't grow up and become corrupt as you see. When you see the age groups, you realize that the 50, between 50 and 70 are of a sure that it is only money that can make you win an election. They brought the system. Those old boys, they are the people who injected this vote buying into our. I happens to be part of a political movement in Ho here at the tender age. In the early times, this democracy, we don't take money as delegates to vote. We elected parliamentary members here. We only go to know what you can do for us best. But today, I know when it started. They started by giving us 100 cities. We say, hey, 100. Before we realize it's growing. That's so to me, I want us to focus on the age here so that we target this group, give them the needed education so that they don't become corrupt as the other age. Now to my question to Mr. Bele. Mr. Bele, I've been asking you this question. And to Doc, today I'm asking you, Doc, I want to know, to you, the democracy we are practicing as Ghanaians, is it the real concept of democracy? If it is, between communism and democracy.
Question. Essentially, Dr. Bella, he's asking, what is democracy really? We'll take that answer, but you want to answer now? Please note it down. Let me take more questions. Hi. Okay, whilst they fix your microphone for you, I will take a moment to fix it, and then I'll take my lady's comments. My lady, tell me your name. So you've taken some before, eh? It's sweet for you. It's sweet for you. Okay, so you took how much?
Please, Abdori Sajika.
Please come close to the microphone.
Okay,
yes.
Abdori Sajika, police station secretary. I will say that I'll take money for Dr. Brian Champon, and I voted for him to check that he couldn't win the election.
Okay. one meeting. Please, don't let her take her seat. Please come close to the microphone. So how much?
He has given us 700.
700 cedis.
Yes.
Was that the only person you took from, or you took from the other people? Maybe it's not you that took it, they offered it. So did you take it? Did you demand it, or it was offered?
Oh, it was offered.
Okay, so 700 cedis.
Yes, please.
Okay, why? Why did you take it?
I may say the money is for all of us.
Let me hear your story properly. It's your story. Tell me the full story.
Hey.
So, but he didn't win.
Yes, please.
Is it that he didn't pay enough? Is it that others didn't believe in his idea? So why did you take the money? Is it that because it was offered only, or you believed genuinely in his ideas?
I believe in him that maybe when he come, he will change the story. But my other delegates couldn't believe in him.
Okay, so for you, it was offered. You took the money, but you still believed in his ideas, except that he didn't win.
Yes, please.
Today, if it is offered again, will you take it? ACP, police, they are here.
I'll still take it.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Also, you take it, eh?
Yes, please.
You don't mind at all?
No.
You don't mind at all?
No, please.
Okay. So maybe ACP, it ties back to the question I want to know, that people don't believe that they will bring them the development that they expect, and so they're taking their part of their development. So maybe from the road between where you're coming to Ho, so she has taken 100 meters of the money that will be used for that development for herself, because she doesn't believe that it will be done anyway. But let me hear you, my friend. Sweetie, thank you so much. That's bold, and please clap for her.
Good. Please, I would like the NCC rep to help us differentiate between rights and freedoms, because there are some slight difference between them.
The NCC rep, right?
Oh,
okay,
yes.
All right.
I would also like to ask the police officer, is it only about the talks? Because voting time, that will be 2027, 2028. NCC will go on with this same campaign. Democracy is not for sale. Don't take money. They've been doing that. We have been doing that. But I have never seen any police officer, though there may be some arrest, but put the person before court for that person to be jailed. So is it only about the talks, or we have to walk it? That's my question to them.
Thank you very much. I'll take your question and I will go to Dr. Mohammed, who is the rep for NCC, to actually address a few of the concerns. Please tell me your name, sir.
Thank you. I am Kosi Akpo from Hobankwe. I believe in the 12% of Voltarians who said there is no hope. I contested as an assembly member before. I contested as a national vice president for the Ghana Federation of Disability Organizations. I was a government appointee in the assembly. I was an NCC officer. Why is it that many young people today are yearning to be into politics? So the incentive is what is urging the people to buy the position. You know that when you get there, you know, investment is induced by returns. The people believe that at the end of the service, if you work as a civil servant for many years, you go on retirement, your end of service benefit is nothing to write home. When you go into politics, many young men that we left school together, those who went into politics, my parents will have rejected me if they actually want to compare me with them. So the vote buying, I remember when we were in NCC, at a point in time, they realized that the governments were not funding the NCC to educate the people. So they created this fund we call a governance fund. I'm not mentioning it, President. Then the governance fund, we started reaching into the communities more. So a president came and said, no, the governance fund must not be channeled to the NCC directly. It must be channeled through the office of the president. So NCC has been incapacitated of educating the people. When I was contesting for the National Federation of Ghana Federation of Disability Organizations, I remember after our manifesto, when they were going to vote, they paused the elections. And they went to the Flagstaff House. They came back with envelopes. So the governments are actually sponsoring people. I ran a campaign for somebody who contested for Council of State.
That part of the story is not clear. Please, I like details.
Which one?
Who are the day that went to the Flagstaff House? Your other contenders?
Yes. They went to the Flagstaff House.
They went,
and they came back. So when we were going to vote, they paused the election.
Okay.
The election was paused, and they said we should go on break. So they came back with envelopes. And I lost Poto.
Oh.
So you see, if we keep on saying that we want to fight democracy not for sale or whatever, and we don't reduce the incentive up there, whoever knows that whatever you spend, just get there. If you know that if you spend money, you get there, you recoup your money, you will invest. So let's check the honey pot. If we break it,
ladies and gentlemen, let's clap for Fukoshi. He has made it very simple. Thank you so much. We'll take a moment and have Dr. Imran Mohammed, he's Programs Director, National Commission for Civic Education, joining us via Zoom, if I have him. Well, the question here has emerged because there are a few laws today that ACP had drawn our attention to that I bet, maybe I should be asking, who knew about the laws that if you indeed take money or in any form, you partake in any form of vote buying, it's a crime? Who knew that before the presentation? Did you know? You knew? Yes. Okay. You didn't know? The lady who took the 700 CD. Did you know? You didn't know. You just thought that, well, but they are offering it. We have to now go and find out whether if it is offered, it is a crime. The question is for her. I'm asking on her behalf. It's not for you. We'll have to find out, okay? So let's ask the NCC. Do people know that this is a crime at all? Do people know that the laws exist as well? The person who is receiving plus the person who is giving it out. Do I have Dr. Mohammed? Thank you so much, Mohammed. You can see him. Dr. Mohammed is on screen and he's joining us via Zoom. Please proceed, Dr. Mohammed.
Thank you very much, Emefa. And I must say a big good evening to the listeners and the viewers, especially to my good friend, Dr. Belly, who was, year mate, first degree, year mate, PhD. Well, Emefa, I think very interesting discussions. First of all, let me make some few preliminary remarks. One is the fact that there is a very profound provision in our constitution that says that the most secure democracy is the one that assures the basic necessities of life for each citizen. People have talked about the disenchantment of our citizens with democracy, and to some extent, some are calling for us to go back to the bad old days. I say they are very bad old days. I think that the disenchantment stems from the fact that the democracy is not an end in itself. It's a means to socio-economic development. And when people feel that after several years of going to vote, access to roads is a problem, access to potable water is a problem, access to healthcare is a problem, very little things will stop them from taking handouts in order to go and vote. So primarily, these are the structural issues that push people into accepting bribes and then giving bribes. The political parties have their issues. I think, on another platform, we could have those discussions. I think that for us as NCC, one of the things we reinforce very strongly is the fact that democracy has presented itself as a better form of government for this country. One, it is the form of government that has sustained itself for over 30 years today. We've tried several types of government. We've been under colonial rule. We've been under one-party dictatorship. All those things couldn't sustain us. And once there is countries are destabilized, whenever a country is destabilized, we go backwards in our socio-economic development. So if you think that doing away with democracy is an option for you, think of it in the reverse gear to the schools that you'll be attending. People are going to get up one day and tell you that schools are closed down. People are going to tell you that, hospitals are closed down. And having the freedoms that we have today, top-notch professionals that are in this country today, engineers, doctors, teachers, lawyers, whenever there is our democracy is destabilized, they find a way of going out. And to the real substantive issue about we NCC and then the education on vote buying, you ask about how many people know about it. I will tell you that our service, service that we do every election year point to the fact that a lot of people know that vote buying is illegal. Politicians know that giving inducement is illegal. And we've done so much. Every election year, there are platforms that we activate for education of a myriad of things, including vote buying. We have the political party youth activist platforms that we have across the country. We do engagement for activists of political parties, especially the youth, to bring them up to speed with laws regulating, public order, just like the senior police officer has presented. We do those education. We also have our inter-party dialogue committees. We have substructures in almost all the districts where we have a platform where all political parties are giving membership. Those are platforms that we use to trash upon issues that could escalate among the political parties at the grassroots. We do, let me speak to the most recent ones, the substantive things, because apart from education, you have to ensure that things are done very substantively to curb the issue. I always tell people that one of the constraints to civic education is the fact that we do education, but nobody sees in an exams for our education. So if you go and you do the education, unlike people sitting for BEC and SSC, and you leave it at that, then you are not doing civic education. So we partner with other organizations to make sure we translate the things that we say about civic education into concrete outcomes. So to speak specifically, in recent times, there is so much debate about the passage of the political party financing bill that the CDD is spearheading. We and the CDD have mounted, public forums in 10 regional capitals to solicit views, and opinions from the citizens on how, the bill should be fashioned. Because also the fact that up till now, you had the young lady saying that if even now money is given her, she's going to take it. I was sitting here pondering about it. If somebody has been, or people have been arrested, fully dealt with either in prison or fined because they've taken bribe at a polling station or because they've taken the money from politicians, I don't think she'll be saying that. I don't begrudge the security services. There are also constraints to dispensation of justice and access to justice. But the fact that the issues about vote buying and then money in politics have never been drastically dealt with, to the extent that we say, oh, this fellow gave a bribe at the polling station, or this fellow took a bribe at the polling station, therefore they are going to jail. It therefore emboldens people that even in the presence of a police officer, you can still say that if you give me the money today, I'm going to take it. So going forward, I think that the Mama spoke about the recent judgment from the Supreme Court that says that the expansion of the electorate, the delegate system, is going to, for me, address one of these issues. And we also know that, I think yesterday, the Attorney General presented the government position paper on the Constitution Review Committee report. I think the Constitution Review Committee made very significant recommendations as regards the way we regulate and then kept money in politics, including the fact that Parliament should pass punitive laws, regulating how, you can access funding for campaigning, including a provision of the proposal that talks about creating another body to handle that, because handling money in politics seems to be a big issue and a big problem for the Electoral Commission. They already have the substantive functions of ensuring that elections are held. So there is the suggestion that what do you call it? Another body, which they call the Independent Registrar and Regulator of Political Parties, should be created according to the proposal of the political party. And luckily, I think government has accepted a lot of those recommendations in the white paper. So for me, these two things, the proposal on the amendment of Article 55 to expand the internal democracy of the party. The political parties believe in democracy. They thought that they believe in democracy. But when it comes to their internal arrangement for electing their candidates, both for the presidential and parliamentary elections, they seem to compromise democratic tenets. There are constraining factors on their part that I think that, on a separate platform we can discuss. So for me, these are very critical issues that when we talk about vote buying and then voter inducement that we should be talking about. I think one of the recommendations of the Constitutional Review Committee that has been accepted, luckily, by the government position paper is the creation of the Democracy Fund. Because to speak for the political parties, you have an elaborate arrangement for our democracy. Every institution draws from the government. The executive draws from government. The legislature draws from government. The institutions that manage elections draw from government. But the political parties don't draw money from government to conduct their internal activities. And I think that is a big gap. So if you say, for example, the political parties should submit their audited account to the Electoral Commission, on what basis are you going to say that? Because the Electoral Commission doesn't give them money to conduct their affairs. The state doesn't give them money to conduct their affairs. So if you don't give them money to conduct their affairs, how then do you go and ask them for their audited account? So the proposition about the creation of the Democracy Fund that could take care of these issues, including the chronic underfunding of NCC, I think is a step in the right direction, Emefa.
Mohammed, thank you so much. He's just summed it up beautifully, and I was hoping he'll touch on the funding part. Please be kind with the applause for Dr. Mohammed. Constantly and over the years, every time I engage the NCC, whether from bottom up or up bottom, there's one thing that is constant. They say that they are underfunded. But he also mentioned something very important. He says that really they're doing the education, but it's not like you sit and take an exam to see whether the education is, yielding any results, right? So you can't measure, but they can assure you that they're doing all they can despite the financial constraints. I'll go to Mr. George Ashilevi, who's just sitting in front of us. He's an anti-corruption campaigner or an advocate. So far, in our fight against corruption, in our fight and your advocacy, what has been the most challenging thing you see that as a country we are not able to solve?
Well, thank you, Emefa. Corruption. One basic thing that we seem to neglect or to forget is that when we engage in corruption, we deny ourselves of so many things that border on development. Our schools, the roads, and everything that borders on development is curtailed. Now, you will wonder exactly where it actually began from and where it is heading to and where it will end. Because we keep talking about corruption, and we never see an end to it. When we talk about where it is leading us to, or what problems that we face in it, yes, we face so many problems in it. You will think when somebody takes money or induces you to give him money, and that is the end of it. It is not the end of it. And just as I said, it makes you lose so many things in development. Okay? Now, we talk about democracy. Democracy is not for sale. Democracy is not for sale because democracy is not a commodity. When you engage in selling or buying or selling your vote, you sell your conscience. You sell your conscience to the extent that whatever happens to whatever developmental things in your community, you are just not bothered about it. And it keeps going on and on and on. As you sell your conscience, you begin to, you grow thick skin. You grow thick skin to whatever good that may befall your community. And so corruption actually steals from Ghana. It steals a lot from Ghana. And when you are offered money to buy a vote for somebody, you have sold your conscience, and then you have sold that aspect of your commitment to your community development that you have to engage in. And so, personally, we have engaged in several anti-corruption activities, and you never seem to get an end to whatever is going on. Yes, but we will not stop there. We will continue to engage and engage and engage. We advocate, and then we try to tell people or the community members that when you sell your conscience, this is what happens to you. You deny yourself of development in your community.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ashilevi. So if you're accepting money, you're selling your conscience, I'm certain somebody is watching and say that, but I'll commit them in this way. Is that a fair pushback? That commit them in this way? Because I'm voting for you to bring me development. You're not bringing it, so why not? I dare say that if we sample some people, they'll say that today. Let me go back to ACP. Many questions for you. There was a question for you, first of all. Okay, yes, please. Thank you.
Yeah. Kofi Ziga. You need to go back to your lecture notes on comparative governance systems. And that will tell you that we have systems of governance. Democracy is one, communism is one, and others. We have chosen democracy. The difference between democracy and a communism lies with the principles and the practitioners. We in Ghana, as practitioners, we have now been faced with the challenge of vote buying. And I will look at it from this point. From the supply side and the demand side, we seem to be focusing on the supply side and not the demand side. I will share a personal experience as part of my research that I was undertaking. I followed aspirants to meet delegates. And before we got to the place, the delegates had met, decided on how much they were going to take. Without the knowledge of the aspirant. So they will agree on what they will take before the aspirant to meet them. And that is what the aspirant will be forced to pay. Our law enforcement is focusing on the giver. Let's tackle it from the takers level also and see whether we can stop it. If you have few takers of the bribe being arrested and then taken through the trial process and imprisoned, I think it will send some fears into the public. And then by so doing, we'll help to reduce it. But to be focusing on the supply side, it will never stop. So let's try to discourage the takers also. And this rolls down to the civic dimension. Dr. Mohammed indicated the chronic underfunding of NCC. I have a stint with NCC before. I've worked as a regional director and as director of public corporate affairs at the head office. And I can confidently say that our budget allocations, okay, NCC's budget allocation has never crossed 30% mark when it is being released. Yes. Every corner of this country, when you go there, you find NCC staff there. They have the resource, they have the human resource capacity to educate every citizen in every language in this country. But the problem is underfunding. And if you want to tackle this, you must tackle it from the civic dimension, whereby we need to adequately resource the NCCE to get into education and roll out the way forward for this canker.
I think that Dr. Mohammed will be very happy that you have hammered on this. Back to ACP, 2 questions for you. Somebody wanted to know the difference between what rights are and what freedom as well is. Am I correct? That's the question that came. But also, you see that there's a general request that why aren't we seeing prosecutions and convictions? Is it that you're doing it, but we're not hearing it at all? Well, what's the rate like? Kindly use the microphone for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me start with the differences between the rights and the freedoms. The constitution that gave birth to our democracy said in Article 12(2) that every person in Ghana is entitled to inalienable rights. Inalienable rights are rights that you have, the fact that you are a human being, and we cannot take that from you. And so because you were not born a goat, there is something about you that will make people not subject you to things that would have to be done to animals. That is a right. Now, freedoms are constitutional provisions that the constitution that gave birth to this democracy have actually stated, listed under Section 20, Article 21 of the Constitution. So you have the freedom of association, you have the freedom to process, you have the freedom to demonstrate, freedom to join trade unions, and so on and so forth. These look alike, but the law differentiates them.
Okay, but so why is there consent? Do I have the freedom of speech?
Yes, it's one of them.
Are there any caveats on the freedom of speech?
Freedom of thought and conscience, freedom of speech. But then in Article 21F, the law tells you that while you are doing all these freedoms, be sure not to compromise or be mindful of what is necessary for the democracy of the state.
Okay.
So we are not supposed to do things that will, for want of better explanation, offend the sense of decency of people who look to you when you are doing your things or when you are saying your things. Don't do things that will offend their own sense of decency. Don't do that. That is what it means.
Right. There's been the general concern that elections have happened. Elections have happened. We've also had vote buy. We've also had election financing. But has the law been able to catch up with anybody that has fallen short of most of the provisions that you made a presentation on at all?
Thank you, Madam. I remember I said elections not for sale is not just about money gains, and that it's not for sale for violence, it's not for sale for threats, it's not for sale for silence, and it's not for sale for anything that we are forbidden to do. So I have a few things here. Political violence at Blakuma North by election 2025. If you have my glasses, please let me have it so I can read it well. 8 men were arrested, prosecuted, and convicted at Accra Circuit Court on August 29 after viral videos showing them assaulting observers during the return at Methodist Church polling station. Each got 500 penalty units, which is equal to 6,000 Ghana cedis or 24 months in prison. Victims included Minister Hawa Kumsin. So yes, it may not be many, because sometimes we ourselves, we are beaten by macho men when we get there. We are supposed to go to election grounds without weapons. And we have macho men coming to election grounds with weapons that we cannot use our physical bodies to fight. The body of a policeman or woman like me is just flesh. It's not machine. It will succumb to these machines. And so we are also careful. But reading on, I have current update from Interior, Minister of Interior, Muntaka, says 11 new dockets have been prepared from 2020 to 2024 elections. 21 suspects. Thank you. So this is a slide. I read better. Okay, so 21 suspects identified, 4 arrested on bail, 5 remanded. When we say remanded, it means we are already prosecuting them, we are at trial, or we have gone to court to put them there so that we can finish with our investigations and come to logical conclusions for prosecutions. 1 completed case, the Odododo 2020 disturbances. 3 individuals are currently being prosecuted at High Court Criminal Division in Accra. Then the thorny issue of vivid vote buying. I'm saying vivid vote buying because even the violence, the threats, they are all vote buying camouflage.
Yeah.
Because before the person wants to go ahead to assault another person in public, something has already given somewhere in secret. So the vote buying, OSP prosecutions in 2026. Office of the Special Prosecutor opened criminal investigations into vote buying, vote selling. So we work on vote selling too. In FPP presidential primaries, which was held January 31st, 2026, yeah. And NDC Ayawasu East parliamentary primaries in February 7, 2026, yeah. In the Ayawasu East, candidate Baba Jamal allegedly distributed 32-inch TVs to delegates and allegedly abetted assault on OSP officer. OSP has released a wanted list for vote buying and opened a separate prosecution for assault of office of an officer. President Mahama recalled him from post as High Commissioner to Nigeria. So we are doing a lot, but I want to say that we are also constrained. It is not only the the NCC which doesn't have enough funds. Ours may not be openly a fun thing, but you see, we have a situation where an officer who is supposed to be somewhere will be picked somewhere, and another person is in place who doesn't know the flash points of the area to be able to circumvent what is supposed to be, because Transfers may have even happened before the matter of fact.
Okay.
So I am not pointing accusing fingers at anybody. I am saying that our job space brings situations that we may not be able to, on the spur of the moment, address issues as it may be.
How difficult or easy is it to find a certain level of crime when the political party describes the form of payment as transportation?
Madam, I have personally not faced that before. I voted the last voting. I voted here while I was working at headquarters. I transported myself to this place. I fed myself. I provided my own sleeping place. And I do not honestly see why anybody should do that, because like our senior man said, it takes away your ability to constructively criticize anything. So since I have not come to that space before, I am not saying that it doesn't happen, but I do not see why a sane person will sell your vote for 200 Ghana cedis or 300 Ghana cedis or 1,000 Ghana or even 5,000 Ghana cedis for 4 years. So the whole of 4 years, your worth is just that money. Before I end, let me add up to what Madam discussed about why women do not or often shy away from public places. Last night, I saw something that worried me seriously. With all the arrests we are doing, one Kweku Christobi just emerged from nowhere and bashed seriously at the Director General CID. The kind of things this person the kind of things that were coming out of his mouth were so debasing. And that is what takes us to what I described as femocracy. In situations where women, busy as we are, because we are mothers, we are managers of our homes, muster the courage to come out to want to put yourself to serve the state. And somebody washes you down so bad. This thing didn't start from today. Because I remember my young person, I saw Madame Christine Churchill in parliamentary vetting, a man asking whether she was married or not. And my question at that time was, is she going to use her marriage to do the work or what? So until we stop these things, it is continuously going to affect even people who believe in the principle of I am not selling my vote. Because if he gets there, another thing can happen.
Thank you very much. I'll take responses and reactions from Rosemond a little later because the concern borders on women. But I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Honorable Emmanuel Bejira, Whole West MP. Thank you so much for honoring the invitation. Maybe at some point when I convince him enough, he should share his own personal experience. That would be very more authentic, right? Okay, I also want to acknowledge the presence of my alma mater, of course, Malco Girls, Malco Mayo. Let me see you. Yeah, oh, look at that. Well, Queens. It's really nice to see you in here. And I'll come to you for some questions, okay? But we've been speaking a lot, and I know a few of you also want to have some interaction. You have some questions. There were a few hands up earlier. Okay, please permit me. Let me go to Mama, okay? But if I'd have the microphone come to my Queen Mother, respectfully, thank you so much. Okay. Thank you, Mama.
Thank you too. I am Mama Mehasupa III from Akufo-Addo in the Asogli State. I would like to ask democracy. I'm just seeing it that it only works during election time, because that time they give forum for women to sell themselves. After that, and they go back, whoever wins and goes to the top, their voices are not heard. It's only the men that they talk and they listen. And it's not only that place, even to our local side. That's how it is. Is there something we can do about that? And sometimes too, even if you want to force yourself and get something at the top, they will demand maybe for something else, maybe sex, before they can even give you what you want. Can you classify that too as corruption? Because
that is the highest. I will not even wait for ACP to answer. That is the highest form of corruption. Like, no amount of money can be more than that. Hey.
So please, as we are learning about democracy is not for sale, we have to be talking about that side too, which it is my honor. It will be a privilege if you can really address that issue for us.
And when that will be for you to address, okay. I also saw that, Mama, you wanted to ask a question? Okay.
Mamas, I'm Mama Mbuke from Klepe. After buying the votes and they get to their offices, they will recoup the money that they use to buy the votes before development starts. So we have to think of those things for 4 years. And I'll be giving 200 CD or even 5,000 is not enough. So we should think about that too when we are acting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Of course, let me come to my chief here. Okay.
Emefa, let me do this before
Please,
you.
by all means.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is King Freeman Holali Nchukwe. My question goes to ASP Brown Mercy Willet. Am I correct?
No, ACP. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. When Mama was talking, she left the politicians and delved into church leadership, student leadership, and how they buy their way through. When we come to the police service, do we have the same thing where juniors buy their position and become superiors whilst they are not supposed to be there?
What a nice way to define democracy. Aye. Yes, we are something like that. ACP are something like that or no? Okay, I will also, now you can go to the, please bring the microphone to my chief here before. Thank you so much. If you just joined us, you're watching our dialogue, our forum, Democracy is Not for Sale, live on Joy News. We're also live on Joy FM, Joy 99.7. We're also streaming on all of our streaming platforms. Please, I'll take your question or comment.
Mine is not a question.
Okay.
My name is Togbe Asiamwa, the third from Bankwi. Democracy is not for sale. When you saw your vote, you should know that you are selling your basic amenities. You can't afford those basic amenities, food, clothing, shelter, for 4 years or more. Because you just take 100 cedis for 1 minute.
It's not 100 cedi.
Oh.
It has gone up.
It has gone up, but if that is the level you can bring yourself to, then we have a problem. So we have to think critically that for how long are we going to continue this way? Denying ourselves of the good things. And I will also say that the payment of wages are not being fair because people with degrees at different sectors take different salaries, which some you can't even get out of the office before the money gets finished. So how do you survive? You use magic. So when these politicians come, whatever they offer, you take it.
Yeah.
So we have to work towards that direction as well.
Thank you so much, Togbe. I see our traditional leaders are also quite concerned. I'll speak to you, Togbe, as well.
I am Togbe Addo will be the fourth. Apetofia Ho Bankwe. Democracy is not for sale. And today we are bombarding the politicians. Why? Because they are doing it openly. It is no more secret. A friend or a lady spoke that she took 700 from one of the aspirants. You see, somebody give 700, somebody give 500, somebody also give 500. So a delegate took 1,700. So multiply 1,700 per a delegate times number of delegates in Ghana.
That's a business.
And see the amount of money that has gone in. You see, See the amount of money and that money can even do a lot of things for the country. Can even do a lot of things for the unemployed youth. Can even do a lot of things for our hospitals who are in need of things. So if politicians, and Madam Emefa, they are Christians, so they are Christians. And when they go to church, they sit at the front and they give fatty monies, and the pastors will never question them of what they are doing. So even if you can't eliminate it, we can bring it to the minimum.
Yeah.
If pastors could be rejecting their fatty monies, then also, as we rightly said, just last presidential elections, the primaries for Who Central, NDC, 2024. The day of doing the primary at Ola Secondary School, some people were still giving clubs, money, and other things to delegates. And could you believe that some even went to borrow this thing from the club sellers and they can't pay them? They can't pay them. Then when they are going to vote, they say, go to this place, go and eat and go. Does the delegates tell you that he or she is hungry? Go and eat and go.
But why can't why can't the delegate say, I'm not hungry?
I'll give you an example. When I was at the Eastern region, a colleague of mine was going to stand for assemblyman. So the assemblyman who he is going to contest is an NDC assemblyman, and he also is an NDC member. So the executives call him and say, support your colleague to go. Next 4 years, then they will allow you to go. He told the executives that if the electors will not vote for him, the angels from heaven will come and vote for him.
So where did that happen? Did the angels come?
You listen. Then he went in and took caterers to be cooking. He stand at the roadside, go to my house, go and eat and go and vote. Go to my house, go and eat and vote. Even his own police station, his own police station, the father just look at him and turn away. And he have some mental reflection on him.
Oh, he was affected.
He was affected because the money that he pumped in, and even all the 5 contestants, he was the last.
And this is the one the party told to wait.
To wait. You see, so if we, the politicians, can limit the way we give money to the delegates, all these things stop. And I am very, very happy about the Supreme Court ruling. Let us, all of us, go. If they can have the money to give to all of us, they should bring it on. We will take it and we'll vote for the one we want to vote for. Thank you.
Clap for Togbi for me. Thank you so much. Okay, that's my friend right there. Please go to please let me take, no, that's my, please tell me, I want to see you standing. I want the cameras to capture you. Did I take a question from you earlier? Okay, but please go and then just be behind him. You would rather have the way you're so pretty. I want to advertise you, please. Okay, my dear, just be kind to me and then just go by that. Yes. I want the whole of Joy News to capture you. Okay, I'll tell my manager to pause till you get there so that they'll watch you for me. While you people. Once we get there, let me take a question from. Did I take a question from me earlier?
Yes.
Okay,
but it's a follow-up question too.
It's a follow-up question.
Yes, the same question too.
Be quick so that I'll be kind to the others who not.
She answered me, but not.
On which one of them?
The arrest.
The arrest.
Jailing. Mm-hmm. We are talking about democracy is not for sale. Yeah. Democracy is a whole lot of things.
We agree.
But the sale is there. Is talking about the inducement. Mm-hmm. It can be in any form.
Yeah.
We are not talking about the violence here.
Yeah.
Is the sale, inducement. But the question that she answered is mostly on
the violence.
Yes.
She ASP will come back to do that clarification. It was also my area of concern. But she mentioned that the violence is also a camouflage of the inducing. You see, because if a candidate is giving you money and has assured you, and they see that you're tilting towards another way, his followers may want to, induce some sort of violence. But I see your question. Your question is
how are we going
a delegate has publicly said,
yes,
this person, this candidate gave me X amount of money to vote for him or her, what should the law do about it? That is purely, you can see there's no need to do much, right? Is that your question?
No.
Okay, what's the question?
My question is, what are they doing as police officers in terms of arresting those people, seeing them giving out money or taking anything to induce them?
Okay, is it done publicly? It's done. Okay.
Yes.
Let me. ASP is here. Yeah. Because if somebody is eating in Kosiani Meko, how would you know? Say.
Okay. Exactly my point. You see, vote buying and vote selling many times happen in secret. At dawn, the momos are going. In the night, the things are being exchanged. On the platforms and on telephones and on whatever, the threats are being issued. So until the police is able to suo moto identify, we have to wait until we have a complaint. And that is the problem. Many times, the people who must complain are the beneficiaries. And so they do not come out to say anything. And so a few situations where we had, yes, we tried to arrest, but you and I know the story. The macho men are there. My PRO is there, want to assist me. So let me see what he has, if he can. But the macho men are always there to make sure they cow us. PRO, thanks.
Thank you so much. I see.
Sorry for interrupting, Madam.
Okay, but because ASP has spoken and his uniform would allow him, maybe it's a follow-up. Okay, all right. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you very much, my ACP, for the opportunity. I am Chief Inspector Francis Gomado, and by extension, I'm the PRO for the Volta Region Police Command.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome very well.
Thank you so much.
Yes, we'll be granting interviews. Today we are meeting in person. Like my brother rightly said, these are inducements that happens at the back door, where sometimes the police officers are not there. In most cases, you heard of the inducement or the vote buying and you get there. Quickly, the one who is giving out the money, knowing very well that it is an offense to induce or to influence voters, likewise the taker and then the giver, they quickly go on air and say that, no, I invited them and I've given them transportation. You get it?
Okay, for example, PRO.
Yeah.
And this is where the problem is. Where,
that is what I'm coming to say.
Before you continue, so if a person says that this candidate gave me television, typical case.
Yes.
They mention the name, they mention the place,
yes,
they mention the item.
Yes.
When it comes to the police attention on a normal day, how will the investigation look like?
Very well, thank you. You see, because he or she is the beneficiary of that gift, so to speak, he or she will not be in position to assist you during the course of investigations to get the one who is trying to induce him or her.
Okay.
That is the challenge that we mostly have. Because if there's no interest in the case, all that you are doing is in vain. Let me like it to this posing scheme that we are aware of it. But anytime we go into effect arrest and prosecute becomes a problem. The skew net something. We always go in
for the leaders, for the owners of the company. But because the victims are conscientized, they are brainwashed. When you come in to come and assist them, they rather think that you are rather coming to spoil their business and the whatever they are looking for in the future. So you do everything possible to get them on your side to prosecute the people you feel or you are convinced that they are taking undue advantage of them. You will never get the support to prosecute them.
Okay.
That is exactly what we are faced with when it comes to this inducement so far as this vote buying is concerned. Thank you very much.
In TV like this, is a thank you or is a transportation?
It is not transportation, it's thank you.
Somebody says it's for entertainment.
You get it. But the person will never give you information or assist you to get to the one who gave out those items. That is a challenge we have in most cases.
Piero, thank you. Always a pleasure when I have conversations with you. Yes,
very much. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Okay, and it must be evidence proving beyond reasonable doubt.
Yep.
And so when we have cases where complainants fail to either come forward to give you statements or have finished giving you statements and are not forthcoming when you need to do further research, they can, even when you get to the court and they don't want it, they can become hostile to you, hostile witnesses, and you lose your case. Now, the essence of prosecution is to be logical enough for you to gain conviction.
Right.
So when police cannot get that, we cannot proceed.
So my dear friend, it's just the way our laws are. Crimes have elements that you must really follow and prove. You can see clearly, but if it doesn't fit in what the elements are requesting, unfortunately, we can't proceed. But let me go to my lady. Okay, my dear.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Eli Kulu, the regional president of Ghana Federation of Disability Organization, Volta. Democracy is not for sale. Actually, mine is either a suggestion or a request. What I mean is, many people think when officers or leaders get to office, they never remember people. Even when you call them, they fail not to even identify your number, nor your text. If you text them, the last time that maybe you text them before the day breaks and they won the election, that will be the last day that they will communicate with you. So, people sometimes think, let me also take my part before they get to that office or to that leadership role. So, all these things boils down to the need of attitudinal change. When our leaders can also listen to us, and the day they seek our help, they normally make themselves down to earth. So why then, when you get that power, then you forget about me? That is, I think, that is the main reason why people want to take their share of the national cake before they get to that leadership role. Thank you so much.
And please come for Eli Klim. Eli Klim, I apologize that I insisted that you come to the microphone.
Don't worry, I'm fine by that. Because
Thank you.
Disability is not inability.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Eli Klim. Eli Klim, stay with me. So, I want to know, I'm curious. After you have voted for a person who sought your vote, what are you texting them for? Are you checking on them or you have demands?
Actually, me, per se, I work with media houses. So I could remember vividly that before election, I was on Volta Star Radio doing this Bedukolas on Iji. So I used the opportunity to host some of these leaders. So when you won, I may test you to even congratulate you. But that congratulation will never have a blue tick. That is what we mean sometimes.
Okay. Thank you, Eli Klim. Please take your seat. Thank you so much. So Eli Klim's views also represent many people. And the question then remains that, do we know why we vote for our members of parliament? Maybe assembly member? Because you see, I like to think you're voting for them for development and your call is not what will bring the development, right? Imagine that a constituency has about 1,000 constituents, 2,000 delegates, impo. And then after you voted for your member of parliament, because when your member of parliament is engaging you, they're engaging you maybe one-on-one a few times, but more times in a crowd. Then after the votes, are we genuinely sure that they are able to answer each and everybody's calls? It's a question. It's my personal question to ask. Are we sure? It's impossible. Mama here says that it is impossible. No, please proceed.
Yeah, it will be impossible for a member of parliament who is elected by the delegates, let's say, for example, Whole Central, close to 2,000 delegates. Then the same member of parliament that you expect to be working in parliament should spend the energy and time responding to 2,000 text messages and then calls in a day, a week. So sometimes I think that is why they made a provision. When parliament is on recess, the member of parliament must come back to the constituency, engage the constituency. But the other way around is that when some of these members come, they organize the mini debate and forums, the constituents don't come. The people who complain, they are the ones who don't come. So they only wait for election cycle and then they take their...
Is it also because the potential members of parliament are making promises that are not real? Because if you're seeking your vote, what are you promising? Because you're a lawmaker, what are you?
Yeah, Emefa, the issue is that the aspirants, let's say there are 4 in a constituency.
Yes.
You want to embark on your civic responsibilities by explaining to the delegates that, Parliament, as a parliamentarian, you are supposed to be in Accra making laws for the country. Your contender comes and says, you vote for me, I will construct a road for you.
I don't know. I understand. Okay. I'll come to you, my lady, but let me speak to the gentleman there. Doc, I understand the clarity that you have brought to it. Please tell me your name.
My name is Moses.
I saw that when my colleague was raising the microphone for the PRO, you whispered that I'm sure you are using the microphone installed. I'm glad that they brought it down for you.
No. In fact, I brought it down myself.
Yourself?
Yeah, I brought it down.
Please tell me your name and share your comments.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this whole issue from a different perspective, in the sense that this vote buying, intra-party and inter-party and across, is only thriving because of one condition, and that is the huge poverty gap that we have in this part of the world. And Ghana, being one of such worlds, actually serves as a fertile ground for these kind of things. There's a lady who is a farmer. She has never received a salary in her whole life. A carpenter or somebody, that's where she is. But they are delegates. And once in 4 years, they will have the opportunity to at least maybe see 500 cities. Count 500 cities in their entire 4 years. And we look at that. We want to attack this one and take the opportunity from them that is corruption. Stop it. This huge poverty gap in this country, if it can be addressed, my MP is Honorable Bejra, and I've always tell him this, that if we want to reduce corruption, we need to deliberately close this poverty gap. If we close it, it will actually work on this. I know someone who was a delegate some time ago, and when he got a job, he now lives in Accra. It was time for name writing again for elections. They called him, he said, "Oh, Charlie, I'm doing something better. Forget about that. I'm not coming." He's working now. His economic status has changed.
Yeah.
And so directly, it affects the whole process. So I'm appealing. We all go to the same market. And somebody's salary is 80,000 Ghana cedis. Somebody doesn't take anything. Somebody takes 500. Today is whole market day. You go there now, everybody is scrambling just to use whatever little you have to do it. So my appeal to the media and those governing the country, let's deliberately close the poverty gap.
Tell me your name, my friend.
My name is Moses Ajay.
Moses, thank you so much. And let's clap, because that's a genuine concern. Hello, my lady.
Hello.
And at some point, I won't have a choice but to pass the microphone to the Honorable because I have a few questions as well for him. Thank you. He's quite a gentle one. He won't say no. All right. Tell me your name, and you're from Malco Girls. Malco Mayo.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me your question or your comment.
Okay. So I'm Miss Patricia Jakuma. Yes. And when I was listening, I think in order to make democracy not a product where it could be sold, I think we need to look from the angle of rule of law. Because if we're to uphold rule of law, where the Constitution states what should be done in the country, we will know what to do at the right time, at the right place, doing the right thing, where we have to uphold integrity. So, like my school, we have rules and regulations, where if you don't follow the rules and regulations, there are some form of sanctions that you'll face. Moreover, new entrants enter the school. So if they don't know about these rules and regulations, they are not able to follow it. And here lies the case where there are a lot of people in the country, some don't have access, or some too, they might not really understand the Constitution. So I think educating the people on the Constitution and how to educate people on the Constitution or what the Constitution says will enable us to go strictly according to the Constitution. Also, law enforcement, where if you don't follow the laws, you will face sanctions, or if there's a situation where you favor people in the name of all of their status or all of their position in society, is going to hinder democracy. So I think that if you educate the people, they are much aware, you punish people to deter others from doing the same thing. Because if you don't do that, you are going to put unqualified people into positions.
Yes.
And they are not able to do their job.
Yes.
Because they have nothing, they have no knowledge about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think putting sanctions against or enforcing the laws is going to help or it's going to make our slogan or our motive a reality.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Please, the applause should be more and louder. Thank you. And this is directed to NCC, and I think Dr. Mohammed is still on Zoom and has heard the request from Malco Girls. Sir, please tell me your name.
My name is Kobnada Kwekwamoa. I'm a lecturer with HTU. I think that our problem is we don't know what we are solving. Because which type of democracy do we import into Ghana? We could have borrowed a democracy and then tune it to our culture. We have a capitalist democracy. And in the capitalist democracy, it's supposed to be for sale. So if you ask me, is it for sale, or what do you want me to answer? Because we've borrowed a capitalist democracy. We could have borrowed a communal democracy where voluntarism spirit will be moved out there. But yeah, it's money. Again, I think we are all pretending as a people. We are all pretenders here. Seriously, we are all pretenders. We all know what is going on, but sometimes we want to go on air and be nice. Like you are very nice when you're on air and stuff. But you know what is going on, Emefa.
But it's because of what's going on. That's why we are sitting here talking about it. How about
but
that?
sometimes you're too nice. Sometimes the questions you ask, I watch you often, but questions you know what you're asking, but you go around it. It's like the education we're having here.
Yes.
Or we are having a borrowed education, right? So I've not seen a theory by Togbe, something in Ghana's education. All theories are about Europeans. And when you do a little bit of what we call environmental determinism, your environment determines what you should learn and apply to your environment. So when you go and learn what is supposed to be applied in a foreign environment, your environment will not grow. That's why I say we are all pretending.
Okay, so in essence,
my last one before I go. I think that one thing we are not doing, we are not learning from our history as a people. We're always going forward. We are always going forward. I don't know what, because Nkrumah said forward ever, backwards never. I think that was a wrong cliche. We should always look back as well. Sankofa. And then look at what we're doing. We had our traditional leaders leading us at that time. So if we wanted, we could have mixed it a little bit with that traditional stuff. And then we could have gone forward. So it will be for sale. We shouldn't bother about ourselves.
So you think that for the type of democracy we practice.
For instance, on TV, we saw somebody giving TV with his picture on it. The person is, I'm forced to call the person an honorable. I'm forced because nothing was done. He's there, Baba Jama. Is he not there? But we saw it on TV that he was giving blah, 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 blah. But we forced to call him honorable.
Are you sure you saw it on TV that he was given?
No, I saw TV that he was distributing a TV.
Are you sure you saw him distributing?
I saw TV on Joy FM. I saw it on Joy FM.
No, stay with me. We're having a conversation.
The picture was in a box.
Stay with me. Stay with me. Patience. Don't worry. Teacher. No, so we're speaking in. So you made two important points. Yeah. You have just introduced us to the type of democracies. You say that the type we're practicing by default will come with a sale. Okay, yeah. And so because we identify this problem, that's why we're having this forum. Okay. However, ACP as well has been giving us some education that because of the kind of laws we have, unfortunately, we're not in a jungle. We have agreed the kind of laws we'll practice in Ghana. So if the request is to amend the laws to mirror what your concerns are, then we can have that conversation. But as it stands, the kind of criminal law that we have currently, if Baba Jamal's picture is on that television, unfortunately, the law does not prove that's not enough for the police officer to go and arrest him. How about that?
That's why I said we are all pretending. We are all pretending we are policing. And the criminals also are pretending
to be criminals.
To be criminals. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. But Doc, you want to react when I come to you on the type of democracy, because he thinks that the type of democracy we practice by default it has that element of sale in there.
Democracy is a universal concept with its principles. You fish out the principle that suits your environment and practice it. As I keep saying, our problem is with the practitioners. If the demand side will stop demanding and then the supply side will stop supplying, we don't have any problem anymore.
Well, but he has a genuine concern. He says that we know that if it is Baba Jamal's picture that is on that TV, definitely he's the one that provided it. So why are we saying that because the law does not allow us to go and arrest him, we can't do anything about it? This is a very genuine concern.
So
he thinks that we're being too nice.
I'll be tempted to speak for the police here.
I agree.
ACP in the sense that, as ACP Brown indicated, it's not every case that they can prosecute successfully if they don't get the cooperation and support from key witnesses. I recall during an election in this country, in Greater Accra region, a regional minister interfered with the elections. He was arrested by the police. The next moment, the police commander was transferred out of Accra to Akufo-Addo. Out of frustration, he died. Would you like to take that steps? So these are the issues.
Well, thank you. Will I just seek your, kindly indulge me, let me pass the microphone to Honorable. Do I have a microphone that I can pass to Honorable? Thank you. Honorable, my teacher who is a lecturer has just simplified it. He says that we know the problem. Why are we pretending about it?
Thank you very much. First of all, let me apologize for coming late. Duty demands, and also I'm standing on behalf of all my colleagues, the 18 members of Parliament. I have to rush here because I'm the caucus chairman. Today is the last day in Parliament that we are rising. Yes, indeed, we all know the problem. There's nobody here who does not know the problem. We all know the problem, but we are all pretending as if we don't know what's going on. But Emefa, I want to assure all of us that two things happened yesterday, and I believe that will help all of us to navigate and come out of this demand and supply thing called corruption. Indeed, democracy is not for sale, but we all know that it's being sold in Ghana. I am part of it. All my other colleagues are part of it. Even assemblymen are also part of it. we tend to say that, oh, this is for transport for our delegates to go home. Now, if you don't have a closed delegate system, which we all heard, the Supreme Court has given a ruling that it's not going to be a closed delegate. It's going to be open delegate. How many delegates can you bribe to be able to vote for you? So that was the first thing that has happened yesterday. The other one was what we call NICAP. A NICAP document was presented to Parliament for Parliament to pass. Now, those of us in 2015 heard that there was a NACAP documentation 2015 to 2024, which has to do with anti-corruption. But currently, we have reviewed it. The Chief of Staff has presented it yesterday. And it's no longer called NACAP, it's called NICAP. The NICAP, they've introduced ethics. So you have National Ethics and Anti-Corruption Plan, which will be for 2026 to 2030. What does it do? Ministry of Education is supposed to come out with ethics and anti-corruption syllabus from kindergarten to university. That our children should be inculcated. They should have ethics in their syllabus. They should learn what ethics is all about. They should also learn what anti-corruption is all about and what what corruption can do to our society. And so Parliament is here to pass it. As soon as we pass it, it becomes a law. And then we'll have a commission that will make sure that every year you submit report on all agencies, including the police service. Now, if you look at the CPI, that's Corruption Perception Index, who are the most corrupt people? It's not the politicians alone, all of us, including the chiefs. You go to a chief's house, excuse me to say, you go to a chief's house without a drink, they will sack you. And if you're adding a drink, you must add envelope to it. You have to add an envelope to it. You can't go to a chief's house. And when a chief also wants to judge, give you a judgment, they look at this, both sides, want to meet Abriwa. When they come back from Abriwa, they'll say Abriwa say bring 1 sheep, 1 goat, 1 so and so. And then they give judgment. You have to go and look for it. And so this is a demand and supply situation that we all need to work on. It cuts across every spheres of our life. It's not only politicians. It's only the politicians that we are seeing. Churches, somebody has mentioned it. You sit on fraud row and give the highest donation. It affects you. Even homes, when children come back, the one that gives the best gift is the loved one. So it's everywhere. Let us not pretend as if it doesn't happen. It happens everywhere. But we can all stop it. How come Seychelles in Africa, Seychelles and then Cape Verde, they are doing very well when it comes to anti-corruption? Why can't we do it? We were here when Rwanda started. But Rwanda today, because they have ethics and anti-corruption commission, they are able to make sure that whoever is corrupt is found capable.
Oh no, but do you think our laws are biting enough? Singapore.
They are not at all. The laws
for Singapore,
are not.
You just cannot do certain things.
The laws are not biting enough. I'll give you a typical example. When we're looking at the anti-corruption laws, and some of our colleagues, we ask that, why don't we asset declaration? Why don't we declare our asset openly? That we were told, some of us who were advocating for it, we were told that, look, some of these assets that we receive are coming from our maternal side. It is something that we are holding in trust for our family. And so we cannot declare those assets. Now, if I go out to get, black market things and add to that asset, how will I declare it? I will not declare it. I will just declare whatever that will make me look, nice. Right. And so our laws are not biting up. Can we have a law that says that if you are a member of parliament, if you are even a teacher, under government's payroll, declare your asset openly? If you declare your asset, and by the 4th year, you declare your asset again, if it increases, you should tell us what has happened to that asset declaration. So our laws are not biting enough. Right. If we have laws that can bite enough, I believe that these things can be a thing of the past.
Thank you very much, Honorable. I'll have Mama respond to a few of the things, and then I can have my friends who are going to the podium to ask the questions also go back to the podium. Especially because there was that call from our friend teacher who said that we're looking forward and we're not looking back. and that it's important that we look back. And then quickly, Honorable took us back. And I just remember, indeed, because my father is a chief, you really cannot come to my father without a schnapp. In fact, lately he tells me that his palate has become very sophisticated. He says, Emefa, that schnapp, I want the foreign one. So now you have to add an envelope. So in looking back, at what point are we looking back and stopping? Because then if you look further back, then a lot of things are also, some things we're trying to stop would also then be mirrored back. But Mama, they say it's not with the politicians only. You actually even mentioned it here before Honorable came. Churches, anything that requires that a person must take a decision on you and by you or for you will require this in any way. Mama, let's hear from you. Then I'll come to you, my friends.
Thank you. Honorable, how many times have you sent schnapp and envelope to some chief in who? I want to know. I want to know, Honorable. Look, if we want to be very honest to people, Honorable Kofi Jamesi, I will give him marks. Because during his time, every Yam festival, he will make sure that he sends small parcels to chiefs and queen mothers in Ho. But NDC, tell me, how many of you have ever sent something to your chiefs and queen mothers? Me, I have never seen it before. I'm being very honest to you. So please go and make your homework and find out whether your people are sending drinks and envelopes to any chief in Ho. Tell me, have you received any schnapp and envelope from any politician
Mama,
before?
I'll just make an intervention. I think, and the Honorable is here, and that's why I was quick to take the responsibility away from Honorable and personalize it, that because my father is a chief, it's not because a politician is taking schnapp. We're saying that traditional setting, okay?
Traditional setting.
If you're visiting a chief.
Unless you have a problem. Unless you yourself, you have a problem. But if it is very cordial, we don't need it. We don't need it. We also equally believe in development. We are expecting development. So if you have, let's imagine you have bought somebody's plot of land and they are sending you to a chief. You cannot go with empty hand because you want the chief to sit down and waste his time on you. That is where they send some 2 bottles of schnapp, not necessarily an envelope. But if you want to be fair, unless you want to bribe that chief, then you will be forced to add an envelope. But if you want a fair case, we don't need that envelope. Yes, but the system, I keep on saying, is so rotten. And like he said, the church's hierarchy, the hierarchy of the churches are now dividing because of money. You know, some church, you see these small churches, they are all coming out of bigger churches because of money issues, which shouldn't be so. So we are here to find how best we can stop this exchange of money and vote for the region to develop. That is our major concern here. Because there are some people at certain positions, they don't even know the word lobby. It's not in their dictionary. And we are here to find out how best can Volta region also move forward. So let us be very honest with ourselves that the people we put in certain positions, are they doing well? If they are not doing well, the next time you are going to vote, look for the best people to vote for the region. This is why we are here. So we should stop joking and let's move ahead. Please, don't let anybody give you money before you vote. Get the best person. You know, those who can lobby. We are talking about lobbying for the region. The region is seeking behind. Honorable, please, let's be very honest. If you go to Tamale, the number of international NGOs there, they are not here. They are not here. Now, if you go to the Indian High Commission, look, there is a small scholarship there. How many of our people lobby for scholarships in the Indian High Commission? There is a form at Japan Embassy. If you go there and you take that form, fill it perfectly well, you'll be able to have grants and build a school, clinic for your constituency. Don't you know that, you see, open up yourselves, come back to your people. Let us find how best we can lobby. The word is lobby. Please go and tell your people to lobby for the region. This is what we want to see. Otherwise, we are just joking in the region.
Thank you so much, Mama. Let me go back and then take a few comments. Maybe another time we'll scrutinize lobbying and what it can amount to. You all agree that it can amount to something else as well. If you must have lobbying skills, can it be a standalone? Can it amount to something else? Maybe. But today we'll focus on democracy in the meantime while we go and look into the terminology, the lobbying that Mama is asking us to go and look at. But my friend, please proceed. Tell me your name and your question.
I'm Jacob Amwa. I'm a person living with disability. I want to share a little experience. Over the past 2 years, I took it upon myself to do a little education by using the UN Convention on the Right of Persons with Disability, the Disability Act, and then the 1992 Constitution, Article 29 of it. I wrote to some stations, some radio stations, that I wanted to do a program that will intend to inform the public and then people living with disability, to empower them by giving them information or education, or how best we can prevent or minimize the disability from occurring using experts. And I also go with the NCC every election year to support them, to collaborate with them to see how best we can do peace campaign during election years, peace awareness campaigns. But I noticed something to my surprise. I thought I was doing something, but whenever I go to a place and I ask for service, oh, please, can you come to me to attend a program with me so that we'll do education on this topic? The first thing the person will ask me, how much are you giving me? So I don't know, I feel very bad. But unfortunately, when the program becomes successful, people call in the information, the education that goes down, as if they've not, I'm not saying I've done the best of it, but what goes in, you'll be marveled. So I asked myself, assuming I also say I wouldn't do what I am doing in my own small way to empower my colleagues or my brothers and sisters who are also persons with disability, then in that case, where are we getting to? Secondly, our systems, we don't allow the systems to work. That one to personal experience. I've come to realize that if you are somebody among a community that want to insist that the right thing is being done, you are tagged as somebody who don't want to go with the masses. I don't know how to put it.
We understand you, sir.
You are tagged with, so I don't know, but I don't know how to put it though, but it is time for me that with the little research I've done with what I'm doing now, it is time we go back to that patriotism nature where when I was growing up, when I misbehave outside, I can be caned, I can be punished before I get home. I'll not get home, I'll be punished at the spot and told at the face that what I'm doing is wrong, or this is the right thing to be done. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please, let's be kind with the applause. Thank you. He's hammering on our communalism, how we have left all of those that we did in the past. And I think he's also highlighted how it's very difficult when you want to adhere to systems and all of that. I think stakeholders and all of those who are watching us have taken note of it. And thank you for all you're doing despite your constraints with resources. Thank you. Hi, my lady. Please tell me your name.
Augustina Ariam Hosu.
Please proceed.
Okay, so I heard a lot and they were really inspiring. But one of the things I'd like to lay emphasis on the attitudinal change. As Honorable said, now we are trying to incorporate the aspects of learning values and ethics in our curriculum. In as much as we are trying to do that too, we expect as students that when we go out there, we should have this kind of free space that whatsoever thing we have been taught in the school, we come out with it, we display it, we show our creativity. Because if we have a society where corruption is a key, I don't think that we as the youth consider the future leaders who will be able to lead the Ghana we want. We won't be able to build on what had been done by the Pan-Africanists, that's Marcus Garvey, Kwame Nkrumah, Jomo Kenyatta, all of those people.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's my school, Mauko.
Therefore, I would like to say that we should look at our attitude. We should look at our character. People see that, yes, you are small, you can't do this. They have been there before you are in, therefore they have much more experience. But to be sincere, it's the brain that works, not the body that speaks.
Thank you very
therefore,
much.
We should kind of pay attention to our mannerism, the way we take things to heart, because character is key. Charisma and character. People have charisma, but they don't have character. Mannerism. We should just look at, let's just take our minds back to RME, where we are taught courtesy and comportment, decent dressing. Let's just try to revive the culture of doing the right thing back. Because if we do the right thing, I feel everybody will be comfortable. The disability will be able to find their place. The people who are the marginalized will also find their place. And we, the ones who are also fit, will be able to do our part. And at the end of everything, we'll be able to get the Ghana we want. So that's all I would like to say.
Ladies, please make it louder. What did you say your name is again?
Augustina.
Augustina, what do you aspire to be? What do you like to be in future? The future is now, though.
No, president actually, but I'm a science student, so I want to be a data analyst.
That's right. Thank you very much and all the best. My colleague Anthony Menu is waving at you in the back over there. Thank you. Let me come to you, sir.
So, again, people will always find the motivation to commit crime if crime is not punished. And so I think that the only solution to impunity is punishment. And that is where my main issue comes in with Honorable Member of Parliament for West, Honorable Bejra. He talked about NACA. And we learned that policy evaluation is a very important aspect of policy formulation and implementation. So NACA, National Anti-Corruption Action Plan, 2014-2024, 10 years. It's been a long journey. We implemented this over the years. How have we have we done evaluation to see the extent to which NACA has actually impacted?
It's usually done 5 years or every 5 years.
No, NACA was for 10 years.
For 10 years, but you reduced it to 4 years.
So have we done evaluation to see exactly the extent to which this NACA has actually helped us to tackle corruption? If we have done evaluation, what are some of the findings that we've actually been able to establish to inform the upgraded National Ethics and Accountability Plan or Action Plan? Okay. So Honorable is here. He would actually help some of us who are very interested in this and for that one has been working on this intervention over the years. If he is able to tell us exactly how NACA has helped us and why NICAP has become necessary, I think I would actually be able to be informed on what to go.
A very important point you have raised there, sir. Thank you very much. Hello, sir, please. Thank you for your patience and standing in the line for a while. Please proceed.
My name is Danjuma Sumaila Amidu Lantam, 4 names. I'm a former president of Ahmadiyya Jamaat in Hoye. And cereal cola in Hoye. I'm with my lecturer from Ho Technical University. Democracy is not for sale. Democracy is for sale. Democracy is for sale. Democracy is for sale. Let me give you some scenario. Recently, 29th November, the flood in Accra.
29th June, you mean?
June,
29th June, yes.
June, in Accra, it affected so many people. And those people, majority of them were in wooden structures, which is this our plywood and others. And we know people in Ghana here, they build mansions and they have the keys about 6 rooms of the mansion that they built in Ghana here. They took them in abroad and only one caretaker is in the house. One single person caretaker in the house. So democracy is for sale. That's where I'm coming from. So I want us to get some solution. Our solution is to try communism. And I have a question to my doctor, Dr. Bele. Democracy and socialism or communism, which one is the best? To me personally, standing here, Danjuma, I want us to practice communism or socialism to small and see. And Madam Emefa, when you go to Accra, tell Mr. Musa Dankwa to make some survey about all 36 Ghanaians, 36 million Ghanaians.
Okay.
To know where democracy is valid or communism is valid.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's a very difficult task, and I think Musa Dankwa is watching. You have 36 million Ghanaians to, and the research survey, I don't know whether you're going to take a sample size and mirror it on the 36 million, but that's a request, and then I'll make sure that you hear it. Thank you. Hi, my lady. Please, give me a minute. Let me go to Sir. Please tell me your name and your comment.
Yes, my name is Prince Akono. Basically, I think the ruling yesterday by the Supreme Court is in the right direction. But let's look at this. Ghana, we have several laws, but the implementation is the case. Now, politicians know how to go around things. This issue of not having a closed delegates. Look, I don't think if the law is not enforced, this thing will work. Because 2024, is it 2020? No, 2016. We all heard of what happened in Hohwe. And even 2020, what happened in Hohwe. So if we are avoiding the open delegate system, then we must also try to enforce the law to the latter. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Hello, sir. Yes.
Very much. My name is Nad Deladem. We have put forth solutions, causes to why democracy should not be for sale. I think one way we can curb this is to close the benefit gap. I mean, the salaries that we take as citizens. 2 people will go to the university and qualify as doctors. Then 1 person goes to parliament, and then the person will be taking 60,000 every month, whilst the other takes around 2,000, 4,000. So, if this gap is bridged, it will not be an incentive for people to come and be buying votes. Because you know very well that when you get to that level, there is no way you will recoup that money to come and run the elections again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I'll be quick with the next round because we have to also address the concerns of women and how they're not able to enter politics, and citing the Affirmative Act that has also been passed and see how best we can do it. It's a concern that NCC also wants to address. And Rosemont, I actually put a responsibility on your shoulder to answer that question. So my dear, tell me your name and your concern.
Okay, my name is Roberta Eyuamamaglo. And then as a young girl growing up, I've always dreamt of becoming a politician. Okay. But then due to activities such as vote buying that politicians engage in, I get discouraged. And then I think the integrity of democracy must be upheld to encourage young people like me to also engage in politics. Thank you.
You have my attention though. My dear, come. Why did you choose? Why did you... Do you still want to be... Okay, so if it becomes not... If democracy is no longer for sale, would you still become a politician? And what type of politician would you like to be?
Yes, probably I would still want to become the politician.
Politician?
Yes.
Okay, so who's your role model in politics?
Role model, I don't know yet.
Okay, it's a homework. Okay, go and find one, and maybe you'll still help your journey. Ayiram, thank you. Please don't sell the democracy so that Ayiram can become a politician. All right. Hello, my friend.
Yes, my name is Emmanuel Akufo-Addo. I am a head teacher and also a pastor. I believe in the Bible, so I know the Bible has answers to most of our problems, including the one we are talking about. The Bible says in the book of Psalm 11 verse 3 that if the foundations are broken or destroyed, what can the righteous do? And that is where we find ourselves. We have trained our children to be dishonest in our homes, in the church, and in the schools. That is the problem. And so until we solve these issues, we will still have the problem of vote buying and vote selling. Again, as I said, I believe in the Bible. So there's another quote that says, train a child in the way he should go, so that when he is old, he will not depart from it. What kind of training are we giving to our children today? In the name of human rights, we pamper the children. We are, in fact, the dishonest part, a mother is in the house. Because the mother is owing somebody, the mother will tell the child, if that person that I'm owing comes, tell the person I'm not around. You see, this is the problem. So we must be very careful. Let's train our children to be honest.
Okay.
And in addition, or to end what I want to say, Proverbs chapter 22 verse 7, it says the rich rules over the poor. The rich rules over the poor, and the borrower is a servant to the lender. And that is what we have in the vote buying, vote selling scenario. Those who are selling their votes are borrowers and they are servants. Let's be careful. Before you accept the bribe to vote, take note. You are becoming a servant, and the rich will rule over you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pastor. Please, let's be kind with the applause. I'll take the final question from you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. My name is Emmanuel Bali. I want to say a big thank you to the organizers and also the Joy News. I happen to be on a party ticket as a parliamentary candidate during 2020 election for our constituency. So when we talk about vote buying and vote selling, I understand where we're actually coming from.
Well, what's your experience? How much did you spend?
Actually, I told myself that was my learning point.
Okay.
Some of the times when you go to a field, to talk to people, before they listen to you, you have to give them something. they will not listen to you unless you give them something. They will tell you, Charlie, go and bring something, and you have to do it. But I've been asking myself and telling, asking the constituent, how long will you continue doing that? As a youth, and anything I found myself doing, I ask myself, how long will I continue doing that? Will it help me? Will it contribute to the development of this country? I always ask myself that question. When we talk about democracy, I simply define democracy that I am democracy. Democracy is not what we are reading in book. Whatever I practice is what I experience. If you want to live a good life, it all depends on you. If you need a good politician, it all depends on you. If you need a good Ghana, a better future, it all depends on you. We should stop blaming politicians. Let me tell you, politicians may not or will not stop buying votes unless we stop selling our vote. We have to determine who sits on that chair or on that seat. A politician will bring you money, but you have to determine whether that person qualifies to be there or not. So we should stop blaming politicians. We should blame ourselves. I want the youth to know that you are the future of this country. If you keep selling your vote, you are going to be hungry. A whole lot of things are going to happen to you.
Right.
My question to the entire country is that if we don't stop vote buying and vote selling today, who will do it? Most of the times at work, I've been, getting into or discussing with my colleagues about this vote selling or anything concerning politics. I've been asking them, so how do you think we can stop this vote selling, vote buying, and a whole lot of... Some people say we can't stop it. Some people say it's been there for long. And I've been telling them, if we don't stop it now, who will stop it? If we don't start now, who will start? How long shall we continue to be living this kind of life? And we expect a good result.
So will you contest again?
Oh yeah, actually, I have the vision. Oh yes, I have the vision. So I want to empower the youth that politics is for us.
Okay.
It's not for the old boys again.
I totally
They have done their part. So what they are doing to discourage you, the youth, is that's why they will be buying votes.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the money to compete with them. So they'll be buying votes. And I want the electorate to know that once you sell your vote, you sell your roads, you sell your education, you sell the future of this country. So we should...
Maybe we have heard you. Maybe you have made the point. It is choking you, I understand.
In fact, I have a lot to say.
I totally understand.
I have a lot to say. And my last word to the youth. Whatever you are doing today, I want to ask you, how long will you continue doing that? How long? And we should stop blaming the police, the politicians, or whatever. We should blame ourselves.
Thank you very much. Will you tell me your name?
Okay, my name is Emmanuel Bali.
Okay.
Yes.
Emmanuel, thank you so much. And I wish you the best with your vision.
Thank you.
Hello, my lady. You're our last person to give us a comment, a question, or a reaction. Tell me your name.
My name is Kalami Elizabeth Eliknim, and I'm a student of Malco Girls. So, with
Please
all that...
come closer to the microphone.
With all that has been discussed here, I've realized that proper methods has not been put in place to address the issue of the buying of the vote. And as we all know, transparency is key in maintaining democracy in the nation. So I want to ask that, can the media is sometimes termed as the fourth arm of government.
It is actually, it's
and
not
they
sometimes.
And they help maintain transparency in democracy. So I want to ask that, can we have institutions that will liaise with the media where they can be very vigilant and to help in addressing these issues? Or are there already institutions? And if they are, what measures do they do, or what do they do? That's what I want to ask.
Oh, thank you very much. Ellie Klim, you say, from Marco Girls. Thank you very much. Please, let's applaud her for that question she's asking all of us. We'll spend the last few minutes on some recommendations, but I'm going to start with you, Ewenam, especially because as a country, we had made some progress to at least, even if we're not able to solve this problem, bring up laws or policies that will help women and still at least help women navigate their way. But we're still kind of short. We're not making progress, right? We have the Affirmative Action Act now, but still, I want to see how that can be tied into the concerns that ASP Brown mentioned in your own concerns and the challenge of women that you have been helping. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So just as it has been discussed already, there are lots of policies, there are lots of laws that are criminalizing the sale of democracy and also encouraging us to openly contest if you want to or if you have the means to. But now the question is, how much is it? How much do you actually spend? We are not looking at the time, we are not looking at the energy that you've spent, we are looking at the monetary value. And how many women can actually afford such amount of money that is being spent? So it's not only about the ability to do, but also the affordability that we are looking at for us to ensure that democracy is not for sale. So for now, we have the Affirmative Action Act, which mandates every department to have at least 30% representation of women. But the question is, how confident are the women to even go into such spaces or be the leaders of their departments or be a part of the leadership roles there? It needs a lot of courage. It needs a lot of support. A lot of times, we've been socialized that it is okay for a man to go there, but not okay for a woman to go up there. And you are asked, where is your husband? Where are your family? And all those kind of social questions that we don't normally ask a man when the man is going in for such leadership positions. It comes from our homes, the way we're brought up. Just as he mentioned, the last gentleman mentioned that we were trained to have certain mentality about women going into leadership positions. We make up majority of the population in the country, but when women go out there to become leaders, they hardly get the majority votes. And we ask ourselves, why? Every time we have forums like this and then we discuss why don't women support women who are leading. And people have various reasons for not supporting women. But I think that it's high time for us to stop seeing women as weak, as vulnerable, as incapable, and also reducing or taking off such huge entry fees. I'll call it entry fees because they are the tickets for you to even enter into the discussion of who gets to be in that leadership position. So it's high time we scrap all those things off and make more room for the women to also participate. We've seen a lot of people going into businesses, trying to make it in terms of businesses, in terms of other sectors, but when it comes to leadership, then the woman is like, no, I don't have the confidence. I don't think people will vote for me. Let's start with the way we are grooming our girls and boys at home. And then we can now have that confidence that, okay, a woman can actually occupy the women can actually occupy the 30% that has been stated out in the affirmative action.
Thank you so much. And when I'm going to go on Zoom and engage Dr. Mohammed, I have a difficult task of managing some small minutes among all of my panelists. So, Doc, I'll take your final words. What are some of the evidence-based solutions you think the NCC would need to implement for us to at least help solve this problem, so that for persons who think that, well, we're already left to rot, there's nothing to do about the democracy, at least there's still some hope? Let me hear from you, Dr. Mohammed.
I think we are...
Kindly unmute, Doc, if you can hear me.
Me now, I'm unmuted.
Thank you, we can hear you now.
Yes, I was saying that there are critical issues that have emerged along, demographic lines, the issue about women and then the youth. I will speak briefly about the youth and the fantastic submissions made by students from your alma mater about civic education. I think I have to re-emphasize the fact that the youth, forming more than 30% of our population today, acknowledging that become a very huge demographic group for us in terms of civic educational activities. Therefore, we traditionally go to schools and engage the students. Beyond that, we have what we call our civic education class, similar to extracurricular activities that students engage on. Currently, at the tertiary level, the issue about leadership and ethical leadership, public accountability and corruption, it doesn't only emerge when you occupy public office. It starts from schools. We hear of instances where students spend a lot of money contesting for student leadership, SRC presidency, NUCS presidency. So currently we are running a sort of school-based engagement on ethical leadership in some selected tertiary institutions for students. And also, speaking about affirmative action, I think there are issues that pertain to structural barriers that constrain women from, participating and getting represented in political office. Some of it have been spoken about, the fact that people pass provocative, slurs against women who come out, who put themselves as candidates for election. And in addition to that, as a state, we've not taken frantic efforts to ensure women's participation within political parties themselves. If you have an instance where political party meetings, executive meetings are held at awkward places at midnight, you can guarantee that women can hardly participate. You go to parliament, I don't think parliament has a daycare center. Whilst traditionally taking care of children is for women, if you have institutions of state that don't make provision for, probably women carrying a baby to be able to participate in national affairs, then it constrains their participation. And luckily, just like one of the panelists mentioned, the passage of the Affirmative Action Act could be a way forward. But as usual, implementation. How do we ensure that the affirmative action is implemented so that it gets the desired outcome in terms of women participation and then other marginalized groups? Then finally, Emefa, I think the despondency about the democracy and people speaking about us trying communism, trying dictatorship. You see, this emerged as a result of the coups we've had in the sub-region. And let me state categorically, you see, when you hear about coups, whenever coups happen, there are short-term reliefs. People come to you and talk to you and then give you some things, and then you see that they are, bragging, we are doing well. But the long-term sustainability of military regimes, well, let's go back to the history. Some of them are more corrupt. They carry out corruption in very opaque circumstances. You will not have Shiraj, you will not have the courts to even take your case to. So we've sustained a democracy, and there are, issues. There are ends that we have to lose so that we can reach where we are. But I think the despondency should not lead us to thinking that we should jettison the democratic system we are having and then go back to the bad old days. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And this address is to those who think that we've already sold the democracy, so let's just drink some wine and go to bed. And I think it's the main reason why we have mounted this forum, so we can try hard to see how we can get back to the real intent of democracy. I'm going to give the last bite to Doc. I want, finally, an evidence-based research recommendation that you think that if the government is watching us now, if they took this recommendation that you will be sharing now, at least it will go a long way to help us.
I think the National Commission for Civic Education, each election year, they conduct this survey, and it borders on the youth, women, and the general public. And the evidence always point to the fact of what Madam said. The marginalization, the exclusion, just because of noted factors, as Dr. Mohammed indicated. Our period of campaigning, do we provide that support for women? These are the questions that we need to ask. But before I end, I want to ask this. If you are being offered the money in exchange for your vote, the questions you should be asking yourselves: where is the money coming from? What is the motive for giving you the money? And do you think that money will be able to maintain your welfare to the next election cycle? That is what I leave it, voters.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bele. Thank you so much, ASP Brown. Thank you so much, Ewenam. Thank you so much, Mama. It's been a pleasure having you. But most importantly, you, the audience, my alma mater, students, for chiefs who have made it here today, would like to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. You have showed up, you've showed out, and you have shown that really, if given the opportunity, we won't sell our vote. My name is Emefa, Akufo-Addo, and on behalf of Joy News, Joy FM, and the Multimedia Group, democracy is definitely not for sale. This has been the Water Region Edition. Look out for this one in your region. We're coming. My name is Emefa, Akufo-Addo, but please stay for Joy News Prime. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabadim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind the ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
Mini Ojo, from the connection man. The OPBR Meso too. Come.
Mix Pacho Shabusu Kanka.
Pukawi. See what kiosk number 22. That's all your brajo. Oh, that's so too. So, yes. For me, you show our unya so well. Hello. You show our uko boats. See what last stop. That's all your Sister Rose. Hold up. Sister Rose, Mr. No customer be. So to the mommy. Also, you can show spot. See what's circle. What's me? Nyanya walk pa. You killer. Sound. Bro, I dare fall from 6 p.m. Shut. Let's saw too.
Me
When we connect our energies, great things happen. Connect to a world of amazing and endless possibility with Telecel. Telecel, connecting lifestyle, connecting passions, connecting dreams.
Telecel, connecting energies.